the topic of separation.
Sharon and I were talking about topics. And I thought that a topic that would be of the moment is one about space. Before I say this, several times I've said to people that what connects us is the space between us. And when you say that, people kind of get like, they don't get it. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try. We have 5 senses. If we were all smushed together like this, it would be like music without rest between the notes. You have to have a gap for things to have definition. And in this seemingly empty space are all the wavelengths in which all the cell phone calls take place, your microwave, everything, waves and particles, and all these things are going on in that space. It's the medium in which we move, just like a fish moves through water. It's not empty. We couldn't function without it. We'd just be one big blob. But she can hear me because of the vibrations from me to her. And now those vibrations are in the air. They're not something that starts here and then jumps there. It's running through the air. And so that's how they get picked up. The same way with sight. You can see because of light waves. You can feel we have a beautiful breeze today. Your sense of touch is here because it is moving, that air is moving through the space. If you didn't have the space, the air couldn't move. At night, we get wonderful smells in my house from night blooming trees. They come wafting through. So literally every one of our senses, taste might be the least of them. But even so, if you smell bread baking, your mouth begins to water. So your senses even pick up taste. So it's important to know that space is a connector. And we now know how to use space to connect when we are disembodied. There was a time not too long ago where if you sent somebody a letter, it took a year or more for it sometimes to get there. I can remember crank telephones that were a big thing, and party lines you got on. But now it's very easy for people to stay in touch. Plus, another plus for people now is their familiarity with disembodied communication systems, such as Facebook, where you can have pictures and you can have private messages and you can have all this without your body being present. And realize, though, how important space is. And going back to how we treat other people during this period of time. If you're in a family group of some kind or group, very carefully respect other people's space. Know when to move into it and when to move out of it. Become very aware of other people's, what's the word I want? Not privacy, but their need for space to be around. I think that's important right now. So let's say you've got a bunch of kids and they want to watch cartoons and Daddy wants to watch sports and Mama wants to watch something else. We want everybody to have their time and their space. So you're going to have to be honest and maybe make some accommodations so that everybody gets their turn and goes through that. So that's really all I have to say about space. I really think it's important to think about changes. And I said at the last meeting, roll with the changes, go with the flow. There's not much else you can do. So here you go with another cliche. Make the best of it. This opportunity may not come again. It's a good time to think of things that you haven't had time to do. As we mentioned earlier, there are all kinds of meditations. There's chanting, there are guided meditations on every topic imaginable. There is silent meditation. So there are all kinds of instructions on meditation. Please enjoy trying all of them. And someday we'll talk about the gap, which is very important in meditation. That's the space that comes between thoughts. It's sort of like the bardo, which we're digressing. Anyway, we decided that we would now do our second normal meditation that we do. We begin either with a mindfulness or a guided meditation, and we always end with a metta meditation. When we end with the metta meditation this time, please really try and be aware of how it makes you feel. It's a very, very emotional meditation. It has very deep roots into our own psyches. And if we actually embrace how it feels, it will keep opening us up. Right now, we're being asked to shut down. Metta meditation says you can open completely up. It doesn't matter if your body is shut down. We are not our bodies. With love, we open and open and open. And this is what we go back to the beginning when I said where we place our minds is the direction of our life. So if you make loving kindness or simple unconditional friendliness your ground position, what the Buddha calls a Brahma Vihara, a sublime dwelling, an elevated dwelling where our minds and hearts live, your life is going to be cast in a very, very positive direction. So there are 5 people in this particular meditation. The first is yourself. You always begin with yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. So you work first on loving yourself, and then you move outward with an abundance, an overflow of that emotion. The second is someone you already love very, very much. The third is a neutral person. Someone that you maybe pass on the road and wave at, but you never really knew their name. You just know they live somewhere in your neighborhood. Or someone who waits on you. Someone with whom, you're familiar, but you're not intimate at all. The fourth is someone with whom you're in conflict. Someone that you either don't like or they don't like you. Someone you have a grudge against, living or dead. Might be somebody who's been gone for 20 years and you still can't let go of ill will. And so it's just someone with whom you're having a fight, whatever, somebody you're in conflict with. And the final one is expanded out to the whole world, to not only this world, but all other worlds. So each of these little well-wishings moves you out larger and larger and larger and larger and larger into space. And when you get all through, you kind of want to absorb the feelings that you get from that and try to carry them forward into your everyday life. So get into your meditative position, comfortable, balanced, centered, stable. Drop your shoulders, open your chest. To transition from outside and all this conversation to inside, just take a few deep breaths. Sharon will ring the chimes. To yourself, say to yourself, may I be well. May no harm come to me. May I live with ease, calm, and peaceful. May I be happy. Now bring to mind someone you love. Look at them, say their name to yourself, smile. May you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm and peaceful. May you be happy. And now to your neutral person. If you don't know his or her name, simply address them as friend. And say to them, may you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm and peaceful. May you be happy. And now we turn our attention to someone with whom we're in conflict. Take a moment. You've established feelings of goodwill. Continue them. Bring them to mind. Bring this person to mind. Look at them. Smile. And say, may you be well. May no harm come to you. May you live with ease, calm, and peaceful. May you be happy. And then with another deep breath or two, we release that person. We put our hands over our hearts, symbolically to embrace all sentient beings everywhere. And we say, may all beings everywhere on this plane and all other planes be well. May all beings everywhere be safe. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be happy. And now, when you're ready, release your hands, open your eyes, check how you feel. Know that the truth at the heart of all creation is love. It's the most powerful force in the world. And if you abide by no other dictate than to be kind, you will be okay no matter what happens in the world. So now, please put your palms together. Go in peace. Go making peace. Living gently. Loving mightily. And bowing to the mysteries. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ruthie.